Hello and welcome to Lead, Laugh, Love. We're coming back with another episode. Thank you guys so much for your support as we bring this show to life. If you're new to the party here, what we've got on deck is an unscripted, completely improvised talk show. And all I pretty much do is load up the room with some brilliant masterminds and give them a subject, and the rest seems to work out itself. So thank you guys so much for joining. Please drop a comment, whether you're in LinkedIn or YouTube. We can't see unless you're actively engaging, participating. So please do that throughout the show. Again, thank you guys so much. Enjoy today's show on how to use video and or public speaking to build authority in your industry. This is applicable to any industry, any niche, any level of experience. These guys got you covered. So without further ado, welcome to the show, and please enjoy Lead, Laugh, Love.
Let's go.
Baby. Let's go, baby. JP, you made it.
I made it. I'm here.
You're frozen again, man.
Fashionably late.
Damn it.
Oh, he's here. Okay.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Fist bump, baby. Fist bump. So, how are we doing today, fellas? What's tell us something.
I just got us on live.
Sorry?
Got us live on the stories.
Live on the stories. Oh, what? You can do this? You know what? I'm the only one in this group who doesn't have LinkedIn Live because I'm in the UK. Very upset. Very, very upset.
Come to Miami. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. Do you mind if I move in with you and Shay?
The house is plenty big. So, yeah, we got plenty of room for you.
Nice, bro. Nice. So, ladies and gents, today, the name of the game is how to use public speaking as a tool to become an authority or a leader inside of your industry. And we've got Mr. ABS, another amazing video today. I liked it. Mr. Dr. Brian Harman and JP, aka the Tarzan of LinkedIn. Paige says, oh, come on, Ravi. Paige, give more clarity, please. More clarity here.
We're not even into it yet.
Yeah. Who else? We got Greg saying, looking forward to this. We got Glenda saying, first time here. Welcome, ladies and gents. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, without further wait, who shall I pick on first? JP, you're really frozen.
Look at his facial expressions, too. Wow.
Classic.
That is the greatest ever, dude. It's a double. That was a Tarzan.
Do I look cute? I still look.
You were like this. You were like this.
Okay, well, I mean, as long as I look decent, all right.
It looked like you were swinging from a rope, dude.
Yeah.
I should
That's
be.
in the bloopers.
It's beautiful right now. All right. Hopefully, okay. I closed all 89 tabs I had open, so hopefully it's getting better.
Good, JP, because you're up first, mate.
Hit me with it,
first, matey. So listen, inside of the work that I do, a lot of people will tell me, I am not a speaker. Okay. I don't have the confidence with speaking. Cool. And the reason that they give for that is often that I'm not extroverted. So my question to you is public speaking only reserved for those who are quote unquote extroverted?
Absolutely not. Like, I want to hear from everybody else's opinion, but I actually feel like introverted people tend to be more self-aware because they're very observant. They pay attention to the temperature of the room. And I, at least in my own experience, I learned, like being a little bit quieter growing up, being a little bit more introverted, when you have the ability to listen more than you speak, when it comes time for you to speak, the message tends to resonate a little bit better than if you were incredibly extroverted. Then it's like you do have a little bit more of a challenge, maybe really understanding the pain points or really delivering a message that's going to, resonate with people. So I actually think it's a strength.
JP, I didn't listen to a word you said because it looks like you're on a Hollywood movie set. Where the hell are you, man?
Right now I'm at Shay's house. Like, explain to me what this is. What is that?
That looks like one of those you see in a Drake video. You see that in a Drake video. Unicorn,
That's
bro.
what it is.
Unicorn.
That's what it is.
I didn't actually. I was just looking at the background because it looked like you were on a set or a trailer or something. So I forgot what you even said. So let's move over to the doc, aka the dentist. What would you say, Brian? What would you say? Is public speaking just reserved for those who are quote unquote extroverted?
One of the reasons I don't use assessments and different tools to classify people is because it has nothing to do with the extrovert or introvert thing. It's about the person. What is the gift they want to give to the world? And you don't have to be extrovert, introvert, vegan, carnivorous. Who cares? If you've got something that you want to share with the world, if there's something that you've been through that can even help one person, then you should go out there and share your voice with other people.
And ABS, that point about you don't have to be vegan, you don't have to be extroverted, introverted. Somebody looks at your videos, okay? Like the one you posted today, every week you're raising the bar. Somebody goes, man, like I want to start producing video content, but then they look at you, Abs, and they're like, man, I don't even know how to compete. They start playing maybe the comparison game. What advice would you give somebody who is at the beginning of their journey, but is comparing their chapter 1 against somebody else's chapter 20?
Go look at my first 5 videos.
What are they like?
That's exactly what I tell. That's exactly what I tell people. I literally in my bootcamp lives, I'll pull up my first few videos and be like, for anyone that's in a rut right now or thinking that, playing the comparison game or thinking, man, how do I get to this level? How do I get to that level? You got to understand, you got to meet yourself where you're at. It's like you can't expect day one for you to be doing like all kinds of crazy stuff. My first few videos sucked. I didn't know how to shoot them or what I should say in the first 3 to 5 seconds or how long they should be or the message, or there were no themes. There were no story. It wasn't nothing like what you see today. But what I always talk about is like, you talk about, Ravi, quantity to get to quality. You can't be so scared to get to the bat because you're so worried. Oh my God, what if I strike out? What if I don't hit a home run? The only way that you're going to hit a home run is if you strike out a lot, if you get to the bat a lot and you get some base hits, you strike out, you get a foul. But like you have to put in the repetition. So I would say avoid comparing yourself to other people and compare yourself to yourself and say, where am I at now? And what is it going to be required for me to look back in 2 months from now, and 3 months from now, and 6 months from now, and say, have I come a long way? Have I made improvement? And I always talk about progress over perfection, but that's what it is. But if you play the comparison game, it's not a fair game because you're comparing somebody that's just not in a totally different place than you. And so nobody has the same life. The only thing that you can really control is you anyways.
And you mentioned something interesting there about video sucking, which made me think of Brian. So Brian, speaking of people's content,
burn, baby. Burn.
You set me up so well. I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, that's so good. That's so good.
I'm still delivered.
Oh yeah.
Hey Robbie, sick burn. Good one.
Sick burn, baby. So listen, on a real note, thinking about content, and once you do get on the bandwagon, John's back. You do get on the bandwagon of starting to produce content. The question is, do you think people like, trust, and know people more if they show up proportionally more on video versus text on LinkedIn?
Yeah, was that a question for me?
Yes, Doc, it is.
Cool. Yeah, here's the thing. When I see someone's awesome posts and they're just written or picture, I'll enjoy the content, but that doesn't increase my level of trust with that individual. The reason that video is the game changer on LinkedIn is because we need more inputs about someone. If I get my first impression from this live show of any of the 4 of us, or if I get my first impression from a post that's only text, which is the person going to be able to relate with more or connect with more or even just observe more? If I write some text post, there's nothing to go off of there. There's no Brian Harman in it. You'll see a little couple pieces, but in a video, there's so much more. You can tell, well, what's in my office? Why is there a ukulele on the wall? Why am I wearing a hat? There's a million now pieces of observation that I can now pull to decide and make a decision on, would I work with this person or not? And that's why video turns into leads, whereas the text and the picture stuff, in my opinion, is not really business boosting content.
Business boosting content. I like that. I like the way you put it. But the truth is there's a lot of people who have built their brand, right, specifically from just text and have done it really, really well. So JP, my question is are you there? Are you even there, Tarzan? Where are you? Are you there?
I can take over if he's not.
Trav, zoom out on me for a second and see if we can see the four of us. No,
he's gone.
He's gone.
Hey, Trav, I'll take it.
Shay drowned him on the unicorn. So Abs, hit me with this, right? The question is I forgot the question. What was the question?
You're talking about text versus video, text not being a business booster.
Exactly. It's not a business booster, right? So my question is thank you for the setup. The question is if you know that your weapon of choice, where you excel the most, is text, should you even try video, or should you stick to the formula that's already working for you?
Well, I think you can build you can generate leads and build your business from text and picture posts. That's a fact. I mean, people are doing it. But the one thing I would say about video is it's more of a brand, definitely a business building, but more of a brand building element to it. And think about this. Like, let me compare it to just dating somebody. Like, let's say that you are texting somebody or emailing somebody back and forth or on a dating site, and that's all you could do with somebody. Like, you're only going to take it so far versus being able to hop on like a FaceTime with them or be able to go out to a dinner date and see them real life. Like, it's such a different experience that you give people on video. When all I see is text from somebody, I just don't really feel like I know them that well. You know what I mean? Like, I could see one video from Brian and the way he interacts with his audience or his guest on a podcast or on a show or on a Zoom. And instantly I'm like, I think I know how this guy rolls. I think I actually might want to talk to this guy. So I think from a relationship standpoint, which we all know the importance of building relationships and marketing and sales with your audience in your community, and brand building standpoint, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And it should be a part of everyone's marketing tool, their tool belt. And so I think you could definitely use both. Like, I still write out text for all my videos. I still write the text portion of that video to go with it. But I think not doing any video is a vulnerability for sure.
Yeah. I want to add something to that, Alex, because I think when we're talking about this topic today is how to use video content and public speaking to boost your thought leadership. Going on video, even this live show, it's risky. We may say some stupid stuff. We're so vulnerable. And if you're just doing scripted content, or if you're just doing even worse, like just the text post, there's no risk in that. So you're not pushing your content to the test. And I think that for me, this show in particular is one of the reasons I was so happy about it. Is like, I generally haven't done well with live stuff. Different when you're preparing a speech for like a TED Talk or something, but this is just off the cuff. I didn't even know the topic a few minutes before we started. So you're pushing me into this realm of, do I have anything to contribute or not? And I like that.
I like it. And on that point, let's do something. Let's talk about the different mediums which you can show up on video on LinkedIn, which may be a good way for people to get started. So we've got the classic piece to camera, right? Ladies and gents in the audience, we've got the classic piece to camera, which is, for example, I do those videos. Alex does those videos, which is arguably maybe a confrontational way to get started because it's you against the camera. But one thing that Brian does extremely well, and we spoke about this last week, which could be a very good way for you to dip your toe into the water, is organizing a Zoom call with somebody else. For example, Brian and myself and Alex hopping on a Zoom call and cutting up that content to then put on LinkedIn. So you're still on video, but it's not you versus the camera. It's you having a conversation, which is ultimately what speaking is about. Gents, have I missed anything? Any other forms that you could think of to help the audience with getting started on video?
LinkedIn stories.
Stories. There you go.
Unless you don't have them, like Ravi.
Yeah, I don't got them.
Paige, what's the deal with my equipment? She's like, move your camera, your equipment's showing. I'm like, I don't care.
JP's in the comments now. JP.
No, I think LinkedIn Stories is a great way to get started now for a lot of people. Like just literally pop out your camera and shoot a video. I think what LinkedIn Stories, the interesting thing there is like you don't have the social pressure of I posted and now let's see how it does, and it's up for everyone to see how it does. No one has any idea how well your story does.
Yeah.
So if you're a little bit nervous of getting yourself out there, create some stories. You know, no one's going to see it. It's going to go away in 24 hours anyways. JP popped up in the comments.
JP's now in the damn comments.
He's now in the audience now.
JP. So we just had Trav pop up. There's Jonathan. Sorry guys, Shay has the living room. My computer overheated and my phone's already there. Oh my god, all I'm reading is excuses. Next.
We're audible ready. We'll go.
Guys, we're looking for a fourth member of the boy band. We're gonna put application the link inside of the chat.
Can we just loop somebody in? Let's do a female.
Should we get somebody from the audience in here?
Travis,
how do we do that?
Email in to the conversation if you can. Let's do
it. Joe says, Ravi, did you pee Jonathan off? Probably, Joe. Probably. I probably did. Travs, Camilla was saying something there. Let's read that question out again. Let's go back to that if we got a second. Okay, now tech is fading us. So let's pretend that never happened. So I'll tell you what, let's go to this. Brian spoke about giving a TED talk. Now, my question to you, Brian, is what do you think showing up, speaking on TEDx, I can't remember where it was in the world, but somewhere in the US, what did that do for you, your business, and your brand?
So this LinkedIn Live right now is probably getting more views than all 3 of my TED Talks combined. It's not like I had some internet hit out there. The purpose of the TED Talk for me was to build my own message, my own purpose, and what did I want to do to help people in the world. If nothing else, it was a really fun event for me to go to. I still have friends from the 3 that I did. I have friends from each of those places that I'm still in touch with. Putting yourself into a position where you have to give a talk like that, it forces you to take this broad piece of knowledge. Now, how do I boil it into this small message? And I think as you're trying to grow your business through video content, you have to keep that in mind at all times is what is the key problem I'm solving for my target clients? And that's where I do the interview style format is because when I'm talking to, let's say, Catherine Matthijs-Zandel about workplace bullying, I help CEO founders and executives to create a workplace where that stuff doesn't exist. I'm helping them create this high trust environment. And by having those conversations, my potential clients now see that on the interview and we're asking questions. And then now they might think, oh crap, I've been seeing that in my workplace. I need to do something about it. I should call Catherine or Brian.
Yeah. I like it. Dude, I love that because I think people also think if you do a TEDx talk, you've made it. Right. And it's interesting that you said what it did for you was to start building the movement around your message. So I like that, man. Let's take a look at the comments for a second. So Travis, ladies and gents, has just put the link to get into StreamYard. We're accepting one guest to come in. Whoever wants in, I feel like it's going to be Paige. I feel like Paige is going to be straight in there. Whoever wants to come in and join us for the rest of this session because we've JP, aka the Justin Timberlake of this NSYNC. There, we saw Paige. Yes. How are you?
I'm looking at the wrong way.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm taking JP's place as JP.
Yes, you are officially our JP. So, JP, I'm going to call you JP now. What advice would you give, Paige, aka JP, for people who may think that public speaking is arguably narcissistic? What would you say about that?
I think narcissistic is probably the wrong term, or at least not the term that I choose for it. I think that if you have something valuable to say, then you're kind of doing a disservice by not saying it. I mean, that's the only reason I started doing this, because I wanted to encourage other people to do it once I realized, you know what, it's just something that's kind of scary at first, but it's really not that bad. I mean, I was great in public speaking in college, and it just never really bothered me.
That's awesome. And how do you think, you know, that idea that you said, okay, it wasn't that bad. How long do you think it took you to get to the point where you could say, actually, I kind of enjoy it? Was it years? Was it a few sessions? Was it like, how long was it for you?
Well, really, I think that I enjoyed it after like the first time.
Oh,
because
really?
I was like, it was just a way to, you know, it had been COVID. I hadn't really seen anybody for a long time. So I'm like, might as well put myself out there and then maybe other people will follow. And, you know, I got responses from it. I'd already been putting gifts and content out there. So I figured why not just like go full force in and be like, hey, you know, you can do this. It's not that hard. I did still doing it with bad equipment. My green screen comes today, but
Yeah,
now I just do it in my living room.
Ooh.
I like it.
Or
I
in my
like
office
it.
time.
There you go. And Paige, you were telling Alex that he's got his equipment showing in the background. That's what she was saying.
Now your equipment's shown.
That's not equipment. That's my bookcase.
Oh, it's some kind of equipment on top there. A magical.
It's my degrees and my globes.
Yeah, it's part of
Globe.
equipment.
I love it, Paige. I love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Trav, let's get the next guest in.
Go for it, guys.
Hey,
Let's do it.
Nice to meet
Cheers,
you.
Paige. Copy tent Joe. Copy tent Joe. Yes.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yes, I agree, Alex. Ravi, quit teasing him with Shay. Jonathan is a mindful, playful brand. He is either serious or playful. Don't put him on the spot like that again. In between, I love the boy band theme. Hey.
Boom.
Who's next? Who's next?
Let's go.
Brittany Lenhart says, Ravi, give me the Craig David Dustley. I would feel good speaking in public if I had that vibe. Oh, yeah.
7 days.
7. How do you know? How do you know, Craig?
Monday, Tuesday. I love that song.
Dude, I thought he was just UK central.
On Tuesday. Yeah, dude, that's the cut. I was just listening to that literally the other day.
Love it. I love it. Who's next in the lion's den? Trav, heat the next person up. Whilst we do that, yeah, congrats to Paige for doing that, by the way. I love that. I love that.
Stepping up.
Thank you, Paige.
So, gents, let me ask you this, okay? You're on that boat of seeing everybody starting to post on LinkedIn. You've got Gary V, you've got JP, you've got Shay, you've got everybody saying you're going to miss the boat for putting, building a brand on LinkedIn. You've got to start putting out video content, but you don't know where to begin. Okay. And you have a fear of speaking and communicating on video. What is the first step you could take today to get your first video out tomorrow? Doc.
I think I learned this from you, actually, Ravi. It was make 5 videos, 30 seconds each, and then take the best one of those 5, post it on day 6. Done. In 6 days, you've got your first video. And I haven't been at this for very long. I started getting serious on LinkedIn like 4 months ago. So it's not like I have years of experience in making videos for LinkedIn. This is just a few months in, and my videos are doing pretty well. I mean, I feel like they are. And I love going in the comments and learning from people. And that's, if you're hesitant, it's not even about always the value you're going to give, but you're going to learn a lot from the people who comment on the kind of content that you do. Yeah, I think you got to just put yourself to the challenge, the 5-day post on day 6.
I love that, man. I love that. And I suppose I'm going to take credit for that, even though I didn't tell you to do that. I'm just going to claim that that was my strategy. So thank you. I appreciate you quoting me. Abs, what would you say to somebody who says, you know what? I'm confident with putting myself out there on video, but I'm not confident in getting negative feedback from my videos, and I'm scared of haters. What would you say to that?
I would say, why do you need external validation to feel good about yourself? You shouldn't need that, right? If you feel good about what you're doing inside and who you are as a person, none of that stuff matters. But here's the other side of that, because it's easier said than done. I get it. We all to a certain degree do value other people's opinions, and we do take that into consideration.
Yeah.
If people are hating on you, like typically, or being negative, it's typically because they have something going on inside them that's not right. And they're taking it out on somebody else to elevate themselves. In reality, it's not elevate them, but that's how they feel. Push other people down so they can feel a little bit higher. So the first thing I would say is like, look, if you're going to take a chance, you're going to put yourself out there, you're going to have posts that don't do well. You're going to have people that say, hey, this made no sense. You're going to have people that hate on it. You're going to look back yourself and be like, man, that was stupid. Why did I should have done it this way, that way. It's just a process. So one thing that I always talk about is like, you have to look at success at anything, and you have to build in those mistakes and those kind of mini failures into the equation. It's not like, how do I do this? So everyone loves my videos right off the bat, and I only get positive comments. You're going to have things fall on their face, you know, things are going to go wrong, and it's part of the process. But I really do think if you need the external validation to feel good, and that's what you're most worried about, I think you got to inside and really get good with who you are, what you believe in, what you stand for. And if that feels right, you put it out and let it ride.
Okay. I'm with you, man. I'm with
You know
you.
what else, Alex? That's really funny is whenever I have those posts where there's those kind of haters and trolls or whoever, people saying negativity, those do way better. And so actually,
bring it on.
It backfires, and then the post blows up, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Brian, I think the first video, no joke, the first video that I put out with Brian, it was like us collaborating, and the top of the comments was, who are these two tossers? And I was like, he's speaking the truth though. I was like, yep, we are. Anyway, we've got somebody else who needs to join us. Who's going to complete the pyramid or the square? Because right now we're a pyramid. Matt Wells says something disgusting in the comments. He said, I'll show you my equipment if you show me yours. You're sick in the head, Matt. This is a PG-13.
I'd love to have Matt on here. He's in Team Dad.
Yeah, for sure. I love Matt Wells. He's another dude who posts awesome videos. And a really cool thing that Matt does, you know, which I really, really admire, is he showcases all of him. Like he showcases the work, the expertise. He showcases his children. He showcases so much him playing with them. You can really feel his energy, right? So kudos, Matt. Kudos.
Power of video. Hey, let me ask you real quick. Would you get that vibe if he was just doing text? No.
Personally, no.
Chance. No chance.
No.
How could you? No chance.
But let me keep it like this. Oh, there it is.
Matty Dubs.
Oh, look at his smile, man. That $1 million smile. Look at that. What's up, bro?
Can't hear you.
You're on mute, man. We're ready. We're waiting.
Live and uncut here. Let's see.
Oh, close.
Here we go. Matty Dubs.
Can't hear you, man. No, we can't hear you. We're close to having to get a message from our sponsors because it's getting awkward. Okay, and we're back. So, Connor. Yes, bro.
What's up, guys? Appreciate you letting me crash.
No worries, man. I mean, say thank you to JP. He just left the boy band, so we're happy to recruit you, man.
Yeah, I don't have as much hair as he does, but it works.
I love it, dude. So, Connor, tell me this. You know, the first time I heard about you, Connor, was through an interview that you did with Shay. And I saw it. I think it was in your living room or somewhere. But immediately, I started to look at your stuff and I started to see more content of you. And I began to like, trust, and know you. So tell me a little bit about how putting yourself out on video has really helped you cement your brand and expertise in the real estate market.
Yeah, it's been my favorite because especially in a time like now, it actually feels like we are in the living room, you know, hanging out and talking with each other. And that meeting with Shay actually was like 9+ months ago, pre-pandemic. It was lucky, you know, fortunate that we were able to connect in person, but it really was just the beginning process of trying to build relationships. And so as we all try to build relationships, doing it with video is just the best way to scale ourselves on places like LinkedIn.
I love it. And Connor, what advice would you give somebody? Because you are, I suppose, how long have you been active on LinkedIn?
So January 1, 2020 is when I first started looking at the camera.
Yeah. Nice, man. So what advice would you give somebody who owns their own business, just like you, and is looking to put out content to build a brand, but also generate revenue for their business? What advice would you give somebody when it comes to the shiny stuff? So, for example, the lighting, the editing, the banners, there's that overwhelm that happens, right? So what advice would you give somebody when it comes to reducing that overwhelm and just getting going?
Yeah, so the quick context is actually I literally don't own a business. I literally don't sell a product, not even for my my income or my role. And so, but it was just so much belief in this idea that if we can build relationships, if we can scale ourselves, then opportunities and learnings will inevitably come. So I actually went all in on committing on this idea that I'm going to start making videos and just start sharing thoughts on my mind as I go. And if you to your question on the shiny stuff and the equipment and all that, if you just scroll back on my stuff a few months ago, you'll see it's basically as bad and as basic as it gets. I mean, I've been using everything from like Instagram Live and just downloading that, or anything I can do to get my hands on video. So I do think the hardest part is just doing and then learning by doing and improving as you go, and not even worrying about some like preparation for perfection.
Well, I think you've just won the comment of the year, or the phrase of the year, docu-making. Somebody in the comment just said, docu-making. Love that, Connor. Listen, brother, appreciate you. And we'll make some space for the next person.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, brother.
Great to see you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
Hey,
you.
nice ficus back there.
Yeah, appreciate
Nice.
it.
What? Doc, how do you know so much about plants? I feel
Ficus
like
liriata, also known as the fiddle leaf fig. That's the common name. It's a quite nice plant. I love it.
I can't hear you guys.
How do you just
man.
call a fiddly fish?
Epic failure on my
Matt.
part. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
there he is. What's up, Matt?
What's up, bro?
Dang it. Now I can't hear y'all.
Oh no.
He's out.
He's done. He just nope.
At least
Good old
he's
man.
trying. He's trying.
Love it. So, listen, I'm curious. Okay, I'm curious.
Uh-oh.
Now, Abs, you've spoken about this, right? When you're putting yourself out there on video, it's not just the people who are, and I'm staying on the topic of haters and judgment right now, but it's not just the people who are commenting, because the truth is often your biggest fans and your biggest haters are doing it in silence, right? So let me ask you this. When you first started putting yourself out there on video, right? You spoke last week about the fact that not everybody understood your journey. What advice would you give somebody who wants to put themselves out there on video, but is scared for judgment, fear of judgment, not from people who they don't even know, but from those closest to them? What would you say to that individual? What advice would you give them?
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, it all comes back to, and this is a phrase that I love to use, is like when you remember your purpose, forget your fears. Yeah. Right. So like part of the reason that I keep doing what I'm doing and I push the limits on some of my videos is because I remember my purpose and my why and why I'm doing it and why I want to put stuff out there. It's not, certainly it's to grow the business. Certainly it's to help my clients do the same thing. But if you stripped LinkedIn away from all this, I'd still be here with the same exact message, which is people have something amazing inside of them, and they need to know that it's more than okay that they share that and they be themselves. And for me, it goes really deep because I think about me when I was a kid, and then, I was just 14 years old writing raps in math class and was picked on and felt so different and was weird, and I didn't have a good relationship with my parents, and I felt like I couldn't be myself, and so I hung around with the wrong kids. And here I am, this kid. I did have some talent at the time, and I had this inner creative that I could have released the last 20 years, but I didn't because I didn't think it was okay. I didn't know how. I didn't think it was okay. I thought I had to fit this mold. And that's why I'm here, just to shake the freaking world up and say, look, there is no mold. Everyone's a different mold. Everyone's something different. And the thing that you think that you look in the mirror and that you don't like, or the thing about your personality that sometimes you pick apart yourself, is probably one of the best things about you, and probably a thing that makes you unique. So I think we need to stop looking in the mirror and seeing everything that's wrong with us and start seeing the things that are right about us, the things that separate us, the thing that makes us unique, the things that make us different are what make you amazing. So that's my message. That's why I'm here.
Well, dude, let me hit you with this, right? Every time I watch your videos, I'm like, man, that dude could have been an actor. And you know who you remind me of? Doc, tell me you agree. If you don't, we're going to have to boot you out as well. The Tommy from Power. You could have played Tommy in Power, right?
Yeah,
you get that all the time.
Yeah, people literally walk behind me. You ever watch the Power show? I'm like, you gonna look like Tommy. Yep.
You could have been Tommy, and Tommy is an awesome character. So, hey, Steven, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up? Not much. Just going to with my dog today. I got a day off, so.
Hey, you're not driving, are you?
Going...
Nice date, bro.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Dude,
I'm listening, though.
Is this a good thing, safety-wise? Travis, there's liability.
Did you sign the waiver before you entered?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I'm focused on the road. I like this topic that you guys were on just now, so I figured I'd hop in and give my 2 cents when I can.
Hit us with
I like it. Rule number 1, always keep your eyes focused down the lens of the camera, Stephen. So, I mean, what do you have a choice either, you know,
That rule right now. Even mine on the road, right? Priorities.
Listen, Stephen, I'm curious because you put out videos and you put out text as well. In your opinion, what has helped you build true connection with people more so, video or text? What's worked for you?
It's a toss-up. I mean, really more than anything, the personal interaction. So being able to just bridge a conversation regardless of whether, you know, it's through video or through text has been my most successful avenue. And then also too, like meetups, like with people that are local, like that's, you know, there's nothing more authentic than actually physically meeting somebody. And I think that's, you know, where I've had the most success is, you know, through the personal interactions as a result of my content, regardless of what it is.
Love it, Stephen. I love it, brother. Listen, I don't want to keep you any longer because I'm scared.
Yeah.
So I tell you what,
exactly.
I'll see you soon, and you and your dog have an awesome walk, my man. Okay. I was scared there, man. We didn't get any liability waivers signed there. Peters, what was the moment you all realized you were onto something with this whole thing? Doc, hit us with that. When was the moment you sat down and after producing content after a consistent period of time? Because I remember when you were starting out and you were posting content just you versus the camera, right? And you were testing out different strategies, different ways that felt authentic to you. So at what point did it click and did it feel like riding a bike? Because the audience probably want to know, when does it ever really feel comfortable? Was it day 5? Was it video 60? When was the point you were like, okay, this feels good?
It was a milestone like that. And I think it was when I got 100 likes on a video. I was posting on LinkedIn for 12 years and I must have been 4, 5, 6 likes for any post. I didn't really understand what value I could give to the platform. I saw an article I'd like and I'd post it, something like this. When I started posting video, I think it was 2 or 3 videos in, I got 100 likes. I was like, this is insane. 100 people watched this? And actually, I didn't even know how to look at the stats. It was like 1,000 people watched it and then 100 people liked it. That was big for me because I thought I could have started doing this a long time ago. I teach in classes. I teach at UCLA and UC Berkeley and other universities, and I have a lot of cool stuff that I've learned along the way that I want to share. So that's, I think the key here was when I first saw people looking at my content, I felt like, okay, what can I do better? What can I do better? Maybe I'll check into this style and I'll experiment with this. And should I try posting a few days a week or 5 days a week? And the big experiment continues, even still to today. And another milestone for me that was big is when I got to 500,000 views. If you told me 3 months ago or 4 months ago I was going to have 500,000 views, I would have told you you're absolutely crazy.
And what do you think that's done for your business, your personal brand, and you as an individual? How has that changed the way that you show up in your professional and personal life?
It's really nice to know when a client calls me and they're saying, hey, I'd like to work with you. I saw your LinkedIn videos.
Yeah.
It's not even like, oh, I saw your TED Talk or I saw your published paper in the peer-reviewed academic journal. No one cares. It's like, I saw your LinkedIn videos. It means a lot to me because I do put a lot of time and a lot of effort into those. It's a daily thing. It's all the time. And that has helped me turn clients that were maybe on the fence into clients because they see how much effort I put into giving information and value back to the platform. I never pitch in my content. My profile page is a little pitchy. It's like, hey, if you want to work with me, contact me here. Yeah. But the content's not for that. The content's like, hopefully this helps you in your life in some way. Maybe you can operate at a little higher than you did yesterday based on some of these tips or tricks or things from the interviewers that I bring on.
Got you, man. That's amazing. And on that topic that you just mentioned about people wanting to work with you, the interesting thing is, so there was a study, and I heard this in last year in the summer. Don't quote me, but it takes around 32 touches in the digital world that we live in today to actually have somebody who's first heard about you, to actually saying, you know what, I want to work with this individual. It's quite a lot if you think about it, right? Especially in the world that we live in today. People have so much choice. Now, as Brian said, if somebody's really resonated with your video and your message, it makes that decision a lot easier for them, because a lot of Brian's content is around leadership, and a lot of it is around his programs and how he supports people. Same with ABS, right? ABS. ABS, is it ABS or ABS? What are we going with here?
I mean, I guess it's ABS. That's what people say. So.
You want it to be ABS though, come on.
I don't care what it is.
Listen, that Terminator video you posted a month ago, it seemed like you were caring, you know?
My initials. Just my initials.
Yeah. Ladies and gents, we've got time for one more guest. Trav, let the lucky contestant.
Ooh, who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be? I hope. Who's it? There we go. Travis posted it. I hope it's somebody who makes fun of Brian. So on that topic of where's JP now? He's not even hanging out in the comments.
He's probably swimming,
dude. So rude.
He's probably swimming with that unicorn.
Yeah, exactly. You're fired. Just like Alan Sugar and Trump says out in the US, you're fired.
Well, Travis could come in. Travis, why don't you come on in?
Yeah, Trav.
Oh, we don't want Trav. I'm joking. Trav, you can come in if you want, brother.
Get someone in for the last couple minutes.
We got a few. Yes.
Oh,
Here he is. So Trav, let's hit the audience with a few final tips as we wrap up in the next 7 minutes, right? So would you say, in your opinion, because you are somebody who really enjoys the production side of things, you enjoy supporting individuals who are there to share their message, and then as a result, the byproduct is you sharing your message. So my question to you is of all the people you see on LinkedIn, right? You see different content creators, you see different speakers, you see different people with brands. Of the ones that do video, what is the thing that makes you stop in your newsfeed and actually watch the whole thing? Not watch 10 seconds of it and write a supportive comment. I'm talking like watch the whole thing where you go, damn, like that was good. Like, what makes you stop? 3 things that makes you stop and stop the scroll. I like that. Stop the scroll.
No, this is this is actually super interesting to tackle because it's nothing to do with the actual content itself. What I look for is actually the conversation. To me, the sign of good content is a good conversation. If you're provoking extended paragraphs, long ass comments, that's what I'm looking for. So when I see a post that has a ton of comments, a ton of interaction, that for some reason makes me kind of curious, like what's going on. So that's a big factor. And then during the actual video, frame switches are a big thing for me. When I see the same frame the entire video, I want to pull out. But Alex actually is really good at playing that kind of back and forth action in his own video. So that's another big piece that I think continues to pull that attention forward towards the end.
Dude, you know what? On that topic of conversation, you posted a video of us from the other week, and it was JP, and he was extremely, amazingly transparent, vulnerable, and open about what makes a good leader. That post, I mean, talking about conversation, it popped, which, let's be real, it popped because JP was very open and honest about something which not many people would be open and honest about on a public forum. So, ladies and gents in the chat, Trav, you can post the link actually to that post if you don't mind, brother, because I think it'll be super interesting for everybody to see, because people often talk about what it means to be vulnerable on social and building a personal brand. Do I have to show my kids? Do I have to show all of these really, really sometimes invasive things? Because everybody's got their own version of how personal they want to get. Now, inside of the comments, Travis will share a link to a post where JP's not, for example, showcasing his family life or personal life. He's talking about a very professional topic, but being very, very open and honest about it. And sometimes I don't know what you guys think, but we often look for, okay, how can I showcase different sides of me? When often it's not always just about the width of how many different things that we can show, but it's about the depth, right? And I know ABS cares a lot about that, right? You speak about, hey, people don't always want to see this, that. They would rather see you penetrate one very specific topic rather intricately, because that's what's going to help them buy into you. What do you say to that, dude?
Totally. I think, and there's the element of like being dynamic, where I think there's a lot of different sides to a lot of different people. And it's like, if you only show one side, if you only get on and every time you get on camera, it's like, here are 3 tips to do this. Here are 3 tips to do this. One, to Travis's point, it's not super overly engaging. And then 2, it's only showing one side of you, and you probably have 100 different sides. You probably got the more personal side. You got the business side. You got the funny side. You got the, relationship side. So I think, people have to, and I think stories will help a lot with this, because people feel like they can open up more. But you can't be afraid to show your different sides. It's one of the things that I've done that I think has helped me so well, is I've shown a lot of different sides. People get to see this. I'm very serious and talking about what I believe in, what I'm passionate about. But then you could watch my video today and I'm singing and rapping and acting in it. And so, but there's still a message. And so that's it.
I love it, man. Doc, we got 3 minutes, man. I'm keen to hear your point on this. How vulnerable do you really have to be if you want to build a powerful personal brand or on social?
There's mixed opinions on this, but mine is pretty clear. Is I'll push the edges and I'll push the boundaries completely off the charts, because I want to polarize my audience. I want the people who might want to work with me to work with me, and the people who just don't like me and my style, that's cool. I'll polarize them out and I'll polarize the others in. The niche content tends to do that. The personal content tends to do that. But I also post stuff that I believe is good for everyone. So 50% of my content strategy is around, let's just provide something that's valuable to everybody. And then the other half tends to polarize.
Love it. Love it. Ladies and gents, if you want to polarize, if you want to produce videos like Mr. ABS, if you want to give value like the doc, aka the dentist, one quick way to get going. Brian hates that. Guys, can we have a petition? We want to get his name changed on LinkedIn to the dentist. If we get 5 votes in the chat, he'll do it for a week. Okay. So let's get some votes in the chat. But on a serious note, to everybody listening right now, as we head off, one quick way to get going is do a video posting challenge, but actually don't post it. Post it to yourself. Get comfortable every single evening with producing content, with you speaking to the camera about something you're passionate about, and maybe, just maybe, you'll enjoy it. This is Travis Lackner, the dentist, and ABS signing out. Peace.
Awesome. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. If you are wondering whether this is actually unscripted or not, hopefully that gives you a better indication. But it's been super fun. Appreciate all your support. Follow all of these guys. Invite some people to the party. We're growing every week here. So thank you so much. We hope to see you next week. Take care.